When you hear the name Iran, what comes to your mind? News headlines? Conflict? Politics? But Iran is not just a story of today. It is a story that began thousands of years ago and never stopped. Long before modern nations even existed, this land was home to one of the world's oldest civilizations. Empires rose here, powerful, advanced, and far ahead of their time. And yet, despite invasions, wars, and constant change, the spirit of its people never disappeared. This is not just a country. This is a lesson in survival. Iran sits in one of the most important locations on Earth, right at the crossroads of Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. For thousands of years, traders traveled these routes, armies marched through them, and cultures blended in ways that shaped history itself. Empires didn't just pass through Iran, they were built here. Look closer at the land. To the north, towering mountains covered in snow. To the center, vast deserts stretching endlessly. And to the south, something even more powerful, the Strait of Hormuz. A narrow strip of water, but one of the most important in the entire world. Every single day, massive ships move through it, carrying oil that fuels economies across the globe. Nearly 1/5 of the world's oil passes through this one passage. Think about that. A single location with the power to impact the entire planet. So Iran is not just history, not just geography, not just headlines. It is influence. It is resilience. It is a nation that has stood the test of time and continues to shape the world even today. But this land is not easy. Much of Iran is dry and unforgiving. Vast deserts stretch for miles, where rain is rare and the earth cracks under the sun. In summer, temperatures don't just rise, they burn. In some regions, heat climbs beyond 45, even 50 degrees Celsius. Water is not guaranteed here. Rivers disappear, lakes shrink. Entire regions live with constant drought, and beneath the surface, the ground itself is restless. Iran sits on active fault lines. Earthquakes strike without warning, sometimes strong enough to erase cities in seconds. This is a land of extremes, scorching heat, endless dryness, unpredictable destruction. And still, people stayed. They did not run away. For thousands of years, they adapted. They built cities in the mountains, designed systems to store water, and learned how to survive where survival was never easy. They turned harsh land into home. Because Iran is not just a place you live in, it's a place you endure. And in that endurance, a civilization was built. Long before the country we now call Iran existed, this land had another name, Persia, which was changed to Iran in March 1935. Persia was not just a place on a map, it was a sign of power, rich culture, and a civilization far ahead of its time. Around 550 BCE, when the world was divided into small tribes and kingdoms, a great leader rose from this land and changed history forever. His name was Cyrus the Great, a ruler whose vision helped build one of the greatest empires in history. Cyrus did not only win battles with force, he created a way of ruling based on stability, respect, and unity among people. Under his rule, the Achaemenid Empire grew across huge lands, linking Asia, Africa, and parts of Europe together. This empire became one of the largest ever, controlling trade routes, big cities, and millions of people from different cultures. But what made Persia special was not just its size or army, but how it treated the people living under its rule. Instead of forcing one culture, Cyrus allowed people to keep their religions, their languages, and their traditions without fear. This idea of tolerance and respect was very rare in the ancient times, making Persia one of the most advanced societies of that period. Because of this strong leadership, the empire stayed stable for many years and influenced laws, systems, and cultures around the world. Even today, the name of Cyrus the Great is remembered with respect as a symbol of justice and good leadership. But no empire, no matter how strong, can last forever, as time brings new challenges and powerful enemies. After many years of power, Persia slowly became weaker, creating a chance for a new conqueror to rise. That challenge came from Alexander the Great, whose arrival marked the start of a new and dramatic chapter in history. At the center of Iran stands Tehran, not just a city, but a system. Tehran covers a massive area, stretching across nearly 800 square kilometers, and inside this space, millions move every day. Over 10 million people in the city, and nearly 14 million in the greater region, a population larger than many countries. But what makes Tehran different is not what you see. It's what you don't. Beneath the streets, there are tunnels, not just for roads, but deeper hidden structures, some built for transport, others for storage, and some for protection. In certain areas, entire underground sections exist, large enough to hold thousands of spaces, and even more quietly, there are reports of fortified underground shelters, connected through secret paths, designed to protect leadership in times of war. Because Tehran is not just a capital, it is the command center of Iran. Political power, military decisions, strategic control all flow through this one city, and that's why its underground matters. Iran has spent decades building systems that cannot be seen, missile storage, defensive tunnels, hidden infrastructure, designed to survive attacks. Above ground, it looks like a normal city, but below, it is built to endure. Because if Tehran stands, the country stands. This is not just a city. This is the brain, the shield, and the control center of Iran. After Tehran, there is another side of Iran, not power, but perfection. Welcome to Isfahan, a city once called half the world. Not poetry, a statement. Because in the 1600s, this was one of the richest cities on earth. Its population was bigger than London at the time. Think about that. While Europe was still developing, Isfahan was already shining. At the center is Naqsh-e-Jahan Square. So large, it could fit hundreds of modern houses inside it. And it wasn't just for beauty. Polo games were played here centuries ago. Yes, the same sport, in the middle of a royal square. Look closer, and the buildings start to reveal secrets. The mosques are not just decorated. They are engineered. Stand in certain spots, and your voice echoes perfectly. Designed hundreds of years ago. No microphones, no technology, just architecture. Then there are the bridges. But these are not normal bridges. They were built as social spaces. People didn't just cross them. They sat, talked, even sang there. Some were designed to control water flow of the entire city. Beauty and engineering combined. And then, something most people don't know. Isfahan was having one of the oldest Armenian communities in the region till they left in 1979 due to high rising tensions. With its own churches, culture, and history, living inside the city for centuries. Because Isfahan was not just Persian, it was global. Traders from China, artists from Europe, all passed through here. This city was a meeting point of the world, and even today, it still holds thousands of historical structures. Iran is not just shaped by history, but by pressure. For decades, this country has lived under sanctions, limits on trade, banks, technology, and global access. Oil sales restricted, money blocked, foreign companies gone. Sanctions didn't just slow the economy, they reshaped it. Growth stopped, currency fell, trade became difficult. An entire decade was lost to pressure. And yet, the country did not collapse. Instead, It adapted, factories kept running, local industries grew inside isolation. Because when the outside world closes, a country turns inward. And here is something unexpected. Iran is not an uneducated nation. Its literacy rate is close to 90%, higher than many countries in the region. A young population, millions of students, engineers, scientists, learning, building, inside restrictions. This changes everything because sanctions can block trade, but they cannot block knowledge, and that creates potential. Iran has massive oil and gas reserves, a large population, and a strategic location. Even today, experts say its economic potential is far from fully used. Now imagine this. What if the pressure disappears? What if sanctions are lifted? Foreign investment returns, technology flows in, trade opens again. The same system that learned to survive alone suddenly connects to the world, and that could change everything. Some estimates suggest Iran could become one of the largest economies in the future if barriers are removed, because the foundation already exists. Resources, people, knowledge, position, all waiting, not destroyed, just restricted, and that is the real story. Iran is not a weak country under pressure, it is a strong country under limits. And if those limits ever disappear, the world may see a very different Iran.